Yeah, digging, scratching, working, struggling, hoping. Some is hustling, every man hustling. Stay alive, that's the game. It don't matter if another gets slain. Pain, recession, other cats want a war. We got the weapon, people want bombs, so they gon' get them. This is the rhythm, the politics ticking. It's sad how we living in this life. It's gonna be a time that we change. Shit is not finite, life is the same. Motherfuckers killing each other to make a claim. Stop that bullshit, you have no respect for each other. You know the truth, you come from your mother, your sister, your brother. So love one another. If we make that change, the whole world will do the same. So listen.
Only this one love. Every day the children dying. What about the children crying? No, no, no.
What about the kids?
Don't forget the children.
Tell them about the children.
What about the children crying? Oh no, no, no.
Yeah, I wish someone would tell me when is the suffering gonna stop. I see time ticking, fuck your watch. There comes a time when man steps to the plate, but it won't matter if your mentality is fake. Where I'm from, we got a system, overcrowded prisons, 2 cents an hour, man. Listen, shit don't change if we keep exploiting each other. One day you find out you only did it to your brother. A homeless mother, a baby, no supper. She got a husband and father, they both love her, but they can't find work cause the people with the power, they got a strange way to govern. Their price tag say nothing. Life is funny, then again it's really not. People dying for what other people got. I asked God if he can come and change the shit. He said, hell no, it's you that's gotta change this.
Every day the children dying. What about the children crying? One.
inherited from our harshest past, embedded in our society's identity. But then again, can you tell me that's free? They explain to you what your mind should perceive, suggest things they want you to believe, like your skin color dictates your race. They're calling you an idiot to your face, like life is much more simple than that. We're all slaves and the cards are stacked, while we fight over problems we can fix. Industrialists turn our kids to addicts. The television does a job, introduce you. The radio's right there to seduce you, keep you locked on the wrong damn track. Cigarettes is just legalized crack. They want you to catch a damn heart attack. They want you to catch a damn heart attack. What? Stop believing in the flag, it's a trap. Cause men rule this world, that's a fact. They don't know, but I'm gonna make it right tonight. They don't lie, but I'm gonna say it like I know. They don't know, that I'm gonna hit them with the shit. They don't lie, that you're gonna free your mind tonight. 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 If you see a man that needs help, then help a brother. If you see a sister on her own, still love her. Cause life is about how you choose to see it. But you gotta teach people how to learn to see it. The planet's been through suffering many times. We propagate many wars many times. The people need to wake up and stop accepting deceit from their own government's deception. You can't blame the people for needing protection from the government's bad reputation. We need to sing a song called Free the Nation. Cause we done had a whole lot of separation. Racism, classism, nationalism, based on keeping people out on the plantation. That's the plan, no doubt. Cause rich people got a plan, no doubt. If you still don't understand and believe that we are all one from the same mother, and respect each woman and man with the same consideration you would like to be given on a daily, then you need to retire so the new generation can take over and show you how to live and govern this place we call Earth home.
Everybody here, yeah.
They don't know, kid. They don't know. But I'm gonna make it right tonight. They don't lie, but I'm gonna say it like I know. They don't know, that I'm gonna hit them with the shit. They don't lie, that I'm gonna free your mind tonight. They don't know, that I'm gonna make it right tonight. They don't lie, but I'm gonna say it like I know. They don't know, that I'm gonna hit them with some shit. They don't lie, that I'm gonna free your mind tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I'll see you on the other side.
They want war. Crime babies looking for food. Starvation, the recipe. People subdued. When
What's
the people
up?
you trust got it in for you.
You
Deceit
too.
is the word of the day, and every crew don't let it
go. It's from the days of old.
Time is up, but some still do not know. Can I make up my mind? Is it worth
Check,
the
1,
dime?
2.
Do I have to take a minute just to make it mine? Life's never fair, but don't listen to the TV. Go out and take a listen to the streets with the people in the slums and the homeless bums. With degrees and degrees sitting under a tree. It's not easy in the world for the poor man.
All right, now let's get it going. It is again Saturday, the 4th of July. Wow, Independence Day, y'all. Independence Day. And what does it mean to the Negro? Frederick Douglass, you know what I'm saying? What does it mean to the Negro? Frederick Douglass. Big up to Frederick Douglass for asking some potent questions back then. And, you know, hey, man, what do we have to celebrate about Donald Trump? Matter of fact, fuck Donald Trump. Okay, piece of shit. Yeah, fuck you. You had the nerve to go and canvass black people when you ran for president the first time. And some of them, naive as fuck, believed you. But maybe it was just, maybe there's this little scam some African Americans, black Americans also try to play like, but it's not a scam. They really voted for his ass. A small percentage really believed that shit, Trump went to their churches and shit. And Trump had dinner with them, and told them how great they were. And, you're really going to be great one day. You know that? And they let a scammer, they let Jeffrey Epstein's best friend scam their ass. And here we are, July 1st. Look at what it looks like. And don't you go back and you tell me, man, it was never July 1st. I never celebrated July 1st. Yeah, but that has nothing to do with, July 4th. That has nothing to do with it, though. It still begs the question, what is it to the Negro? And don't you go back now. Don't you flip after you voted for Trump. Don't you go to saying some shit to avoid the fact that, doesn't mean you might not have thought about it before. Maybe it didn't mean shit to you before, but I still want to know, what does it mean to you today? And if it doesn't mean shit to you today, then say so. Say fuck Trump. Yeah. How about that? You know what I'm saying? It's complicated. It's complicated. The 4th is a complicated day. Listen, African Americans fought for independence. Don't ever forget it. Don't ever forget it. So at the very least, we can honor those that died. You know what I'm saying? Because many of us do have ancestors that died fighting in the War of Independence. Like, don't ever forget that. It's your country, too. It's not even your country, too. Don't ever forget it's your country. Like, don't ever forget that. The moment you start forgetting that, you get people like Donald Trump that's been 3 generations in the country that is like, it's all mine. And Elon Musk, too. You know what I'm saying? They start breaking in everybody else and shit. It's their country. It's their country. And they all talk about 1776 and your ancestors done fought and died. And you're not talking about it? Nah. It's Independence Day and you can make it what it is for you. Make it your own style thing. Do what you want to do. Honor your ancestors on that day. Nobody's saying you got to go downtown and hang out with Trump. Although I doubt a lot of people are doing that anyway, but you can remember something. What you don't celebrate or not celebrate, but what you don't honor, maybe it can maybe it could get worse now. Maybe it can get worse. And in my eyes, it's already bad enough that there's people that didn't die for the shit, don't even have ancestors that died for it and claim it. And, so I'm just like, claim it. Claim it. It's yours too. Claim it. Don't give any space. People will take any option to take everything from you and throw you out and act like, hey, you don't matter. Fuck you. Your people never did shit in the country anyway. Now it's my turn. I'm here. You know what I'm saying? So claim it. And claim it with people that understand your struggle in it also. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all I'm saying. You don't have to be fake about it. Share it with the people that respect your struggle in it. You know what I'm saying? And so those of you that celebrate it, I will say happy 4th to you. And celebrate it like it's yours. Celebrate it the way you want. If celebrating it means saying fuck Trump and shooting your gun off in the air, hey, I'm all with you. If celebrating it means don't let any Magas in the backyard, I'm all with you. Fuck them too, man. Don't celebrate it with them, man, because they will throw your ass in a goddamn in a camp, and have you thrown out of this country so fast, even though you're a citizen. You know what I'm saying? They will mistake you for somebody else and throw your ass on the plane and send you to goddamn Hungary or some shit. Who knows? Or Honduras. I'm sorry. But in any case, I wish everybody well. Now, this is going to be a very easy stream because half of it I'm just going to go ham on maggots, right? Which I like to do from time to time because it's a favorite pastime. And, we're not going to live forever. So I may as well get that out of the way before it's over, right? Shit, nobody's ever going to come to me and tell me I didn't shit on MAGAs all day long, for real, on YouTube every day of the week. No, I actually did. I did that. That's what I did. That's what I spent my time doing. I won't even pretend. The police come and ask me and shit, was that you on YouTube? Yeah, it was me. You caught me. Yeah. I said fuck Trump about 1,000 times every day in the morning. Brush my teeth. Fuck Trump. Looking in the mirror and shit. Fuck Trump. Trump doesn't mean shit, man. And, I advise everybody else to try it sometime. It might make you feel good. That's what that's what I think is proper. Try it. It might make you feel good. Now, where's my daggone? Let me see something before I get started. For some reason, this is not popping up. Oh, yeah, here we go. I got it now. I'm almost ready, y'all. So, I hope everybody had a good start to their day. Let me know what is good if I'm missing anything, and then we will carry on.
I had a guy come up to me and said, I don't like you much.
Right.
But I'm sorry.
Oh,
he said, but I'm going to vote for you.
Right. There we go. Well, let's start off with that. That's a simple thing. Try voting. You don't have to like the people you vote for. After all, you voted for Trump. That's amazing. A lot of people actually voted for Trump because they liked him, and he turned out to be a sick bastard. What was there to like? What was there to like? And it turns out voting for people you don't like might actually be better for your health. I mean, it's amazing. But in any case, I think that's what MAGA is. They vote for people they feel are like them. People that say things they want to hear. Nothing in detail. Just things that sound kind of reddish. You know what I'm saying? Things that kind of, and they go for people that look kind of like a certain kind of way. But there's no detail there. There's nothing underneath it. And lo and behold, the kings and the queens of MAGA, the main MAGA stooges, they're trying to distance themselves from Trump now. I mean, that's really embarrassing. And I got to say, it's not enough. You ever heard that song by what's the rapper's name? What's the Kendrick Lamar's? Not enough. Not enough. Da-da-da-da-da. You trying to distance yourself? No, not enough. It's not enough. You can't just come out there and, after you promoted Trump for months and months and months, talking down towards innocent people that just want to live a regular life, not even special. People not even thinking they're special. People just trying to go to take care of their little simple families. They had the nerve to spend all their time talking down about those people, vilifying them. Now look at them.
That his sons are making off of the government.
The Republicans need to be fucking destroyed. They just need to be obliterated in 26. We need a blue.
Not enough. Okay. But still, I like what I'm hearing, but still not enough.
Wave. We need Democrats to sweep the House. We need this administration to be destroyed.
You heard it right. They need Democrats to sweep the House. Can you believe it? But don't ever forget now, it's not enough to say it. It's not enough.
The Trump family is grifty. There's been like story after story about all the money that his sons are making off of the government.
The Republicans need to be fucking destroyed. They just need to be obliterated in 26. We need a blue wave. We need Democrats to sweep the House. We need this administration to be destroyed.
Damn. And what I wonder is, what kind of Democrat is he talking about? It's obviously not the AIPAC Democrats. Nick Fuentes hates AIPAC. You know what I'm saying? So it's obviously not the AIPAC Democrats that he wants to sweep the House. Maybe it doesn't matter to some degree. He's just so mad at Trump. He's like, Trump is going to destroy it. I mean, what do y'all think Nick Fuentes' thing is? What is it? Was he a poser? Was he a bigot poser? Was he a KKK poser? Was that something he was doing to grift himself? Right. And now that he sees that, damn, Trump is actually going to destroy the country. Now he's like, fuck that. Democrats are OK. What's going on with MAGA? I mean, this is them.
Trump needs to be impeached.
Some of the very biggest names in right-wing media who at one point or another supported Donald Trump, like Nick Fuentes or Glenn Greenwald, or who still claim to support Trump, like former Fox News host Megyn Kelly, are now openly condemning, to one extent or another, the flagrant, staggering, unprecedented corruption of Donald Trump and his family, and we have to talk about it. But before we do, If you end up liking this video and you want to support the channel, please be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and alert bells before
Pondering Politics, big up.
you go. All right, folks, as I said in my first video of the day, the recurring theme of today's videos is Trump corruption, because we just had multiple bombshells from the financial disclosure, which reveals that Trump made more than $1 billion off cryptocurrency, the very industry that he regulates, the Qatari luxury.
Look, somebody came on one of my posts today and said, yeehaw, yeah, Trump, I'm glad he's doing it. The Democrats did it before him. And I wrote, I was like, hey, man, but do you realize this is actually your retirement money they're spending? Like, why would you celebrate that just because you say someone else did it? That makes no sense. Now, the only way that would make sense is if that was a troll from another country that wants to keep Americans stupid, you know, forgetting that it's all your money. And when it's all your money, don't you think you should want something for yourself from it? I mean, you know, this is the thing that seems to escape MAGA. The concept of taxation with representation, or the concept of taxation without representation. They don't even know what that is. It's almost like, and you want to celebrate the 4th of July. What the fuck do you think that was about? It was literally about taxation without representation. You know what I'm saying? The 4th of July, the War of Independence. Independence Day itself is about what the fuck are you going to get me for my motherfucking taxes right now, motherfucker? I mean, we'll see.
We will see. Which he's converted into Air Force One using taxpayer dollars, between $400 million to $1 billion of taxpayer funds that he plans to take with him once he leaves office. The whole thing, and countless other stories, government contracts being given to his family members. The whole thing is so staggering that we're seeing a MAGA rebellion, right? From Megyn Kelly, Glenn Greenwald, Nick Fuentes, and I want to show you this. Let's start with Megyn Kelly. Quote, I say this as a true fan. Megyn Kelly admits she, quote, can't stand Trump's son's grift. Megyn Kelly is, quote, a true fan of the Trump family, but she made it clear that that doesn't mean she's okay with the family's, quote, grifty moves since Donald Trump entered his second term in the White House. Kelly spoke to Sky News Australia on Wednesday and expressed some displeasure with reports about Trump and his sons profiting while he's in office. Trump released this week hundreds of pages of financial disclosures, which broke down how much he's profiting while in the White House. Among the revelations from the disclosure documents was that he's brought in $1.4 billion from crypto ventures, with $500 million coming from a crypto venture he and his sons, Donald Trump Jr., Eric Trump, Barron Trump, founded. Okay, just to provide some context here. So with that in mind, let's hear a bit of Megyn Kelly express some misgivings on the 250th anniversary of this nation about the nation's leaders.
I don't feel great about our leaders. I'm not going to lie. I'm disappointed with some aspects of the Trump presidency, for sure. Like the Iran war, that's number one.
Some aspects. I mean, what is there she could like about it? Everything is killing. You know, even the what is this? Even the thing about rounding up immigrants or quote unquote illegal immigrants, even though these people had temporary protective status, that's not illegal. Okay, but the way they're rounding them up, you know, and treating them, that's not helping our economy. None of that helped. You know, comprehensive immigration reform would have helped our economy. It would have helped also other things like the job market for everyone. You know, you have to do things comprehensively. Otherwise, you're just knocking over shit and making someone else pay to pick it back up. You know what I mean? But what is one thing that Trump did that's actually fucking good? Name one. Because if you think terrorizing immigrants or however you people on protective status, temporary protective status, if you think terrorizing them because they were at work doing a job that you ain't going to try to do yourself, what's up with that? And by the way, a lot of these people work for small businessmen also. Small businessmen trying to grow their businesses, get somewhere because they can't compete in a market with fucking oligarchs every goddamn where buying up everything. These are small business people that lend out their services, their labor to other small business people. in communities. You know, you act like you don't know who the people were that were hiring them. I know some of them. My homeboy does roofs in DC, right? Does different things, different types of HVAC services in DC, roofing, plumbing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he would hire people in the community. Some of the people were immigrants. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's up with that? But he's not an immigrant. He's a goddamn African American. Family goes back to the colonial period. What the hell is up with that? He was hiring Americans and hiring immigrants, hiring people that wanted to work. God damn it! Like, what's up with this? Hiring people that got out of jail, couldn't get a job anywhere else. Hiring immigrants that wanted to work and do their labor, do some labor jobs. What the hell? You know?
It's so grifty. I'm not going to lie. It's grifty. You know, the Trump family is grifty. There's been like story after story about all the money that his son.
Look, some dumbass in the chat said comprehensive immigration reform is not needed. Just enforce the law. Dumbass, you're supposed to have. So you think uncomprehensive immigration reform is better than comprehensive immigration reform? What the hell? Just enforce the laws of the... Dude, you don't even know what the hell you talking about. What the hell is this? You know, where do you get this from? Let me just look at this, man. We just got to call ignorance out. We just got to call ignorance out for what it is. Somebody doesn't even know what the fuck they just said. Makes no goddamn sense. Okay, 2016. Listen, man, if you're an actual American, you should be fucking ashamed of how stupid you are and how little you know about your own goddamn country, man. Like, seriously, you should be embarrassed to even make that statement. No, every fucking country needs comprehensive immigration reform. That means so you can do it the right way, dumbass. God damn.
Funds are making off of the government.
Happy
government
4th,
contract.
Yo, happy 4th. What's up, Michael? Yo, can you believe we getting off to a dumbass start? Yo, what the hell? Somebody don't even know you need immigration laws. What the fuck is wrong with the people, man?
They have no clue. You know what it is it's funny because they'll say that, but can't have a comprehensive plan on how to reform immigration other than the wasteful dollars on ICE and a border wall that doesn't stop immigration.
Comprehensive immigration reform. It means what type of immigrants you want if you're going to take any, God damn it, and why. What the fuck? What the fuck? It means you're supposed to know why you need and who you need and what you need. God damn it. Before you invite people and before you say no. What the hell? It's just called having an idea what's going on.
Trump himself is guilty of utilizing immigrants for his businesses.
Trump is the main abuser. He's the main one. Got people from all over. Working in his hotels and shit. Karina, what's up? Yeah, this is just absurd. You know what I mean? And I'm sorry, man. Again, the dumbness got to stop somewhere. We had enough of that in goddamn 2024, bro. It ain't going in 2020. It's over. 2026 we got to lick some shots over that dumb shit. It's not welcome anymore, man. Get the fuck out. All right? We need comprehensive immigration reform. Yes, we do. We need to know what's happening, and it needs to be on paper, and we need to have a plan for what we need, when we need it, why we need it, and where it's going to come from. Just like we need goddamn trade. We don't need trade. We just need to cut the border. Shut the border down. I'm about to ask, what job does this person actually have who said that? But in any case, let's go. Let's go, man.
They're getting all that. I can't stand that stuff. And I love his sons. Okay. So I say this as a true fan of theirs, but I didn't like it when Hunter Biden was doing it. And I don't like
sycophant. You see what I'm saying? Sycophant. Why is she still kissing ass? She ain't learned her lesson yet. Damn, lady. Like, which one is it? Are they grifters or not? Why do you love them if they're goddamn grifters? What's wrong? And she would be the main one trying to diss somebody who just wants a legal, simple job. Can I charge you $5 for cutting a hectare of grass? Wrong. Get out, immigrant. But she loves the grifters though. Like, okay.
Like it when
She loves the criminals. She loves the criminals.
the Trumps are doing it.
Yeah. Now, again, the difference is that Hunter Biden was not president, and the extent to which he was cashing in on his father's name came from when his father was neither vice president nor president. And even if you take the most maximal view of Biden family corruption, it's a rounding error, a literal rounding error of Trump corruption. So kind of a bullshit false equivalence there, but the logic is true that if you had a problem with Hunter Biden, then you should have at least a problem, and arguably, I mean, factually, a much bigger problem with what's going on with the Trumps. Nick Fuentes, one of the biggest figures on the right and a former Trump supporter, is now openly calling for Trump to be impeached.
Heed my warning. How do we prevent this outcome in the future? The Republicans need to be fucking destroyed. They just need to be obliterated in 26. We need a blue wave. We need Democrats to sweep the House. We need this administration to be destroyed. Trump needs to be impeached. I'd love to see Vance impeached. I don't think that will happen, though. Trump's got to be impeached. There need to be investigations. Trump needs to become like Nixon. I want his approval rating to go lower and lower and lower.
I like this guy. I like him more than Megyn Kelly, actually. And I don't know why, because the guy was an outright bigot. You know what I'm saying? But for some reason, right now, he's saying exactly what everybody pretty much wants that. That makes sense. That makes sound proof. Every single thing he said, there was not one little small error in anything he said. That whole goddamn, that was like how many sentences? 4, 5, 6 sentences. 100% correct, on point, rational. Completely rational. That tells me that maybe what do you make out of that, Mike? Why is Nick Fuentes all of a sudden saying the right shit? He was a bigot, full blown bigot.
No, he's definitely a bigot, right? He's the epitome of white power. But I do think that he's realizing the neoliberalism versus the conservatism. I see Nick Fuentes more as a traditional conservative than I do a neocon, and he's seeing the neoconservativeness play out without regard to anyone, right? And the con job that Trump has been doing, and I think that's what's led him away from the MAGA movement, right? The MAGA movement held really right-wing and left-wing populist talking points by evoking emotion through saying rhetoric like, hey, make America great again, affordability, great economy, small business growth, right? And now that they're seeing the grift, now that they're seeing that it was all just words in order for them to gain power and gain popularity, people like Nick Fuentes, even Megyn Kelly, right? And Nick Fuentes is obviously more blunt and
he's more practical. He's more practical.
That's
apparently.
his base, right? His base is a conservative base, right? They run on conservative values, right? They're not. They have very little to do with the economy, right? They're not necessarily economic based, and they're the disenfranchised MAGA, right?
Yeah.
That's your.
And Megyn Kelly's not the disenfranchised MAGA. Nick Fuentes is the disenfranchised MAGA. I got it now. I got it. Okay, so he's.
And remember, their bases are different, right? Megyn Kelly is more of that affluential conservative, right? That middle class, upper middle class conservative, where Nick Fuentes is representative of the youth. Nick Fuentes is only 20 years old. He's not even of age, right? He's 20 years old.
You know what? For what he was able to achieve, even as dastardly as many of the things he said and as hateful as they are, I'll give him a little credit for that, for being 20, because 20, you don't know much, man. And you might be caught, you don't know what his world looks like. It could be very small, very closed, or, but to achieve what he was able to achieve at 20, damn, man. I mean, wow. He makes the rest of them look stupid. I shouldn't say that,
Yeah.
but he does. He does, yo.
For his age, he's obtained a lot of success, especially on the political
Yeah.
platform, right?
Yeah.
And he base is that younger base. It's that younger MAGA base. 25 and under is his base, right?
Yeah,
That is
yeah.
who Nick Fuentes appeals to. And so, when we look at our future voters in terms of the conservative lens, it's Nick Fuentes' base.
But see, this is the thing that's very interesting also, right? He said that there needs to be a blue. What did he say? Let me bring it back,
I mean,
because
he is like
this is a very serious statement here. Like for him to say this means, what does it mean? Let's hear it again. This is what he's calling for.
Then you should have bigger problem. One of the biggest figures on the right, and
Hold on, here we go.
Need to be fucking destroyed.
Right. He said the Republican Party needs to be destroyed. Hold on, here we go again.
calling for Trump to be impeached.
Heed my warning. How do we prevent this outcome in the future? The Republicans need to be fucking destroyed. They just need to be obliterated in 26. We need a blue wave. We need Democrats to sweep the House. We need this administration to be destroyed. Trump needs to be impeached. I'd love to see Vance impeached. I don't.
He in his mind is practical to wish the Democrats totally sweep, just totally destroy this MAGA Trump administration. That is right. So he sees that as practical, as a solution, and then after that happens, then we can get back to regular politics. Is that what it sounds like, or you there? Oh, okay. Maybe Mike's is a little busy.
No, I'm here. I was
okay.
on mute.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah, I think he I would say your standard centrist Democrat has more in common with your conservative than they do an extreme neocon, right? And so he would prefer, right, your basic politics where you can talk policy and legislation and you're not just driven by indiscriminate greed that comes along with the neo-libertations, right? So the neo-libertations. So that's essentially how I see the current movement with differentiating the Nick Fuenteses of the world.
Right. Okay. So, and now that we heard him, I'm going to go back to Nick Fuentes, but it's just reminding me of something somebody else said here. So let me play this also. Here it is right here.
I had a guy come up to me and said, I don't like you much. I'm sorry. He said, but I'm going to vote for you. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I'm going to vote for you. I was like, why? He's like, because I think you really want me to have health care. I was like, I do. I really want you to have health care. He's like, that's why I'm going to vote for you. I was like, so why don't you like me? He's like, well, because you're Muslim. I was like, oh, okay. All right, good. Turns out I don't need you to like me. I need you to like you.
Is there something going on here? Like, can a guy like Nick Fuentes work with a guy like this? Like, can his base work with a guy like that? Do you think there's any possibility? Because, look, Nick Fuentes definitely is not going to like the AIPAC Democrats. Right? I hate to say that because I know I'm a Democrat also, but and I also support, I'm not as hard leaning, but I'm starting to go pretty far because, look, I live in a country that has universal health care. I live in Denmark, so I can't be this centrist. You know what I mean? But but what do you think about that?
But I do think I do think that the more progressive we get as a whole, especially with movements like the DSA movement, it forces progression, right? It forces everyone to consider, what does universal healthcare look like? What does universal childcare look like? What does universal education look like? Right? And I think, even people like the Megyn Kellys and the Nick Fuenteses may not say it out loud, but they understand that is what's needed for us to keep up as being the leader of the Western world, right? I think this current neoconservative movement under Trump, neoliberalism movement under Trump, they're seeing how it's made us fall behind in terms of global visibility and global appeal,
Okay. Okay, I get you. Yeah, yeah. I'm curious about this because I don't see how this issue. If Nick Fuentes is saying this, and he said this before, by the way, this isn't the last time he said the first time he said these kind of things. I'm curious, man. I think I like Nick Fuentes, what he's saying. I like how practical he is. I like how he's able to reverse course when he sees that something's terribly wrong. And look, is there something to be said about this statement here? Like, do people need to like each other to work together to get government to work for them? You see what I'm saying?
There you go.
Like, yeah, like I don't need to hold Nick Fuentes' fucking hand. I don't need to go to the same bar he hangs out at. I don't even need to, but I don't have to hate him either. But I don't need to be around him if his cup of tea is some other bullshit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, really, I don't need to live in his. Of course, I'm not saying I'm taking it too far, but me myself, I'll put it to you this way: if I had the means, I would not choose to live around people that don't like me. If I had the means, right? I would choose to live around people that like me, right? So,
and I think that's reminiscent of the bipartisanship that was held under every other president except for Trump, right? Even under Obama, as much as individuals on the right disliked Obama, they still accepted his leadership. As much as people disagreed with Bush and protest against the wars that he started and the way he functioned as a president with even tax cuts as well, they still acknowledged him as a president, and both parties were able to work across the aisle. That's not the case here in this current administration, right? And I think understanding that this current administration has led to a fraction of both parties, right? When we leave this Trump era, both parties will look drastically different, right? Whether that's the right falling more neoconservative and neolibertarian, and if that's the left just becoming as progressive with faces of the DSA, right?
let me continue with this. I'm sorry, I got a call. 2 seconds. I'm sorry about that.
I don't think that will happen, though. Trump's got to be impeached. There need to be investigations. Trump needs to become like Nixon. I want his approval rating to go lower and lower and lower.
I mean, he is like Nixon in the sense that he is very corrupt. He's orders of magnitude more corrupt than Nixon, quite frankly. And of course, the difference is that President Nixon was forced to resign in disgrace because his own party, the Republican Party, the uniquely corrupt party, not that Democrats aren't corrupt or can't be corrupt. They are and they can be. It's just that the Republicans are objectively far worse, and we'd foolish to pretend otherwise. And they've been worse for decades. But even that Republican Party went to President Nixon and said, look, if you don't resign, not only will you be impeached, but we will vote for your conviction. You will be removed from office one way or another. So if I were you, I would resign. And between the shame that the Republican Party felt and the willingness to hold their own leader accountable, and the shame that Nixon felt enough to resign in disgrace, that's what happened. Trump is shameless, and the modern-day Republican Party is much more feckless and corrupt and tolerant of corruption than the Nixon-era Republican Party ever was. We're going to play another clip of Nick Fuentes in just a moment. It's actually much longer, but he lays out the case of Trump corruption in a very compelling way. And given that he's on...
Sorry about that, y'all. I'm a dad, so my daughter just called me. I had to take care of something for her. Mike, sorry about that. I had to just take that call real quick. But listen, let me know in the chat. What do you all think about what is going on here? Do you think that this matters? Like this kind of concept between, let's say, Abdul El Said, right? And his statement here saying, I don't need you to like me because I'm a Muslim, or I don't need you to like me, I need you to like yourself, versus what Nick Fuentes is saying. I had a guy come up
to me and said, I don't like you much. I'm sorry. He said, but I'm going to vote for you. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I'm going to vote for you. I was like, why? He's like, because I think you really want me to have health care. I was like, I do. I really want you to have health care. He's like, that's why I'm going to vote for you. I was like, so why don't you like me? He's like, well, because you're Muslim. I was like, oh, okay. All right, good. Turns out I don't need you to like me. I need you to like you.
Right. Now, can Americans get along with agree to disagree on some things and still make decisions that are useful to their own lives instead of the opposite? Instead of saying, I don't like you, I don't want you getting universal health care, so therefore I won't get it either. I don't want you getting anything out of life, so therefore I'm willing to sacrifice me getting anything in my family. I mean, do you think it's possible for Americans to get out of this rut? Because to me, it doesn't make any sense. I've never really seen it anywhere else. Any other place that I travel, I've heard people of different countries say, we may not get along with this group and this and that, but when it comes to this, we get along. When it comes to education, we get along. When it comes to, union jobs, the union, we get along. These kind of things. I mean, a lot of Americans live, the United States is a big country. It's got a lot of different areas, a lot of different geography. People don't all have the exact same upbringing. A person in northern Maine is not like a person in Arizona. It's just not the same. A person in, let's say, Colorado, right, may not be like a person in DC, right? But there's still things that we all need, and we all pay goddamn taxes. Aren't there basic things that we can all get along on? I mean, I'm just curious about that. Is it possible for the right and even the far left, even the social democratic socialist, even though he says he's not Michael, is he a democratic socialist, or did he just say he's not a socialist? I'm talking about Abdul El Said. You on mute? I think you're on mute, Mike. Let me check something. I think he is on mute. Are you on mute, Mike? Yeah, you're on mute, man. Come off of mute. I don't know how you got on mute, but you're on mute. Anyway, maybe he did that on purpose. Well, I'll just let it play some more and see. It is a weekend, so let's go.
On the right, hopefully right wingers will take it much more seriously.
Actually, let me look at the chat while y'all here. What is some of? Let me see what some of the comments are. Boom. Let me go up. First of all, I want to say, look at what they got to do on the front. I want to say what's up to everybody. Madam, appreciate you coming out. Eric, I see you there. What's up, Eric? Mahmoud. Pocket Marmo, I see you. Pocket Marmo says Donald Trump is unfortunately or uniformly reviled. Yeah, absolutely. You're right about that. 6 Cent says, let me see. Madam says the DSA movement is bringing about a real dialogue. I think that's what I'm talking about. And when I hear Nick Fuentes make these comments, I'm sorry. All the other stuff he said before was very vile. But these comments that he's making right now seem very, very practical, very honest, and I'm just curious, like, can those things resonate? Can honesty and being forthright resonate right now, in opposed to tricky politics where people pretend and lie? You got Donald Trump, his whole regime is a bunch of tricky liars and, just out for the rich, ran on being out for the poor and out for America. And really, they were just out for themselves versus, centrist Democrats that kind of, that take corporate money. They take corporate money, right? And now that wasn't really Nick Fuentes' thing. He wasn't into corporate money, right? And he wasn't into AIPAC. Abdul El Said is not into corporate money. Really, he's not into AIPAC either. He talks about that all the time. I'm just curious if that young right can get together with the young liberals and get something done for the country. Because don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to force someone to like people if they don't understand them, but listen to people might be a wiser thing. Everyone has the right to survive, and everyone wants to survive in the manner that they know best, right? But it has to be reasonable, and it can't be dog eat dog politics when so many things we don't have as Americans. None of us. The right wing, the left wing, the extreme right wing, the extreme left wing, none of us. The center, none of us have, when we talking about the middle class and the poor, none of us have been served or given our just due, by the tax code, in terms of our representation, in terms of the laws, really, But let me see who else is in the chat. Let me see. I'm glad I stopped for a second. Pocket Marmo says, leave the Donald Trump cult while there's still time to salvage your reputation with your family. Damn, you're actually being serious, man. You saying serious things there. Yeah, totally. It's not personal. Lisa D. Ross says it's not personal. Totally. King Rush, what's up? Says I'd rather live around beauty. There you go. You can't. I don't want to force nobody to be around things that they're not at home with or don't feel safe with and things like that, or just don't generally like. But you shouldn't be out trying to march in other people's goddamn town talking about you won't replace us, coming to town and shit, trying to bully people around in their own damn town. It's like, come on. I didn't vote for Obama, but if I had high hopes, this is Mel Gillum. I didn't vote for Obama, but if I had high hopes, I was terribly disappointed. But I had high hopes. Okay, I didn't vote for Obama, but I had high hopes. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. What did you vote for? Ooh, I don't get that. I don't get what that means. Sorry. It seems like you just contradicted yourself in one statement, I think. But in any case, the Raiders, y'all. The Raiders. Actually, this is my son's cap. My youngest son's cap. I had to take it. Let me see here. 6 Cents says someone who switches political views for personal gain, such as power, money, or influence, is most commonly called an opportunist. You think that's what Nick Fuentes is doing? I don't know about that one. I think if Trump did that's definitely Trump. He flips for political gain, yeah. But I'm not too sure about Nick Fuentes. Some of these people that are bigots, they have some things that they're real about. I might not agree with everything about them, but they have some things that they're being honest about. Even if they're not right, at least they're being honest about how they feel, right? But then again, it's up in the air. Who knows? I hear you. It's hard to trust people. You got to make people work for trust. Let me see here. Here we go. Zero Gravity says this, y'all. Social Democrats. Okay, who are the Social Democrats? That's not, there's no Social Democratic Party in the U.S. It's Democratic Socialists. I don't know if that's who you're talking about, but he says Social Democrats or Zero Grave, if that's a he or she. I don't know. Whatever. I don't know your pronouns, man. Social Democrats are unable to contribute to real freedom. They want to define freedom with the ability to evict individual freedom if the individual choice conflict with social democratic control. I have no clue what that means. I just read it. I'm not making much out of that, my friend. I think you gotta be, I don't know. Tell me who, what, I don't get it. You gotta say more. Individual freedoms. How? What individual freedoms? Trying to ability to evict individual freedom. What does that mean? They want to define freedom with the ability to evict individual freedom. Social Democrats? I have no clue. I'm lost there, buddy. Let me see. Lisa says Nick's loyalty is the dollar. He's interested in business that pays him. Yeah, man. I mean, hey, a lot of y'all know more than me about Nick Fuentes. I don't watch his ass every day for sure. Let me see here. Who else is there? Best president ever? Oh, Steve, you like that? Let me ask. Steve, can I ask you something? How old is your account? Just curious about that. Let me just take a look and see. I always like to see how old people's accounts are because I like to. Okay, 2018. Okay, so you're not a new troll, but just curious about that. Anyway, yeah. Well, I don't like him. He's not the best president ever. He's Jeffrey Epstein's best friend, however. Do you like that? Okay, let me see. Let me see here. Pocket. Okay. Trump. All right. Well, I see. Okay, we got it. We got some things out there. So I appreciate everybody for coming out. Now let's hear some more here. Some more contradictions.
Because unfortunately, liberals and progressives and Democrats, people like me, people like you, if you're watching, more than likely, you're not going to be able to break through the cult. But these right-wingers like Megyn Kelly and Nick Fuentes and Glenn Greenwald here calling this out, well, maybe we'll start to see some movement. Glenn Greenwald, who is a right-wing libertarian and who has graded Trump on a curve in the past, he has since become an outspoken critic, not just of Trump's foreign policy, but also the acknowledgement that Trump is just objectively far more corrupt than any Democrat. And to his credit, Greenwald, whom I don't like, went on Jubilee, and was surrounded by 20 MAGA Republicans and relentlessly argued this as a major element of that debate, that the corruption of the Trump administration and the Trump family and Trump himself are orders of magnitude more than in the Biden administration, Obama administration, et cetera, and so forth. So in response to some of the news that we have been discussing, Glenn Greenwald says this: the magnitude of Trump's personal corruption and the monetizing of the presidency by him and his family have no precedent in American history. It takes a total peasant mentality or some weird cultish devotion to defend or excuse this, especially if you objected to corrupt Biden transactions.
That is a great term, a total peasant mentality. I like that. Because if you think about it, they don't want maggots, don't want taxation. They don't believe in taxation. I mean, they believe in taxation without representation. Maggots, it's like they want to work for a king. They don't want anything for their tax dollars. They just want to just give it away and want nothing. And that is actually a servitude mentality.
Personal corruption and the monetizing of the presidency by him and his family have no precedent in American history. It takes a total peasant mentality or some
peasants, servants. It's true. True. Nothing. No demands of their taxes. Nothing.
Weird cultish
just devout loyalty, nothing about their taxes.
Devotion to defend or excuse this, especially if you objected to corrupt Biden transactions, as I did, he said. It's on a completely different scale. Trump set up a crypto company, World Liberty Financial, 4 days before his inauguration, then had the United Arab Emirates pour hundreds of millions of dollars into his pockets for 49% of it, then gave rewards to the UAE. Jared getting $2 billion from the Saudis, on and on and on.
Total grifting.
Again, we're going to play another clip from Fuentes in a moment, but I want to stick with Greenwald here. And Greenwald tries to engage with people in the replies. So somebody responds, peasant speaking, I will wait for more. Don't like the look, but we have to wait to hear more. The corruption by all is almost peasant-worthy minded numbness and instills a level of skepticism by the peasant mind plus one. Who is saying it always reeks of TDS for the most part? It is the
Any peasants in the chat? It's a lot of peasants come to my posts sometimes. You got TDS, man. Yeah. You have unlimited amounts of TDS.
Non-peasant gasping. Now we got him, look. Greenwald says, well,
yo,
what do you need to know what do you need to know specifically?
Anybody remember Slick Rick? That's what Slick Rick used to call people, peasants.
I'll tell you whatever it is you're missing. Appreciate the response, but the peasant is just waking up and beginning to read.
Damn!
And this person's being made fun of as well. They should be for their cultishness and stupidity.
The peasant is just learning to read.
Somebody responded with, let's see, Jared getting $2 billion from the Saudis, and he's very upset by that. It's not accurate at all. Glenn Greenwald responds, Jared set up a hedge fund. He then got the Saudis, whose interests he served in the White House and whose interests he's again serving, to give him $2 billion for it, even though every Saudi board advised against it. Mohammed bin Salman overruled them because he knew the value, even though Jared has no experience in hedge fund management. And yes, that has massively enriched Jared. Again, a peasant mentality. Leave Jared alone. Another person responds with, considering all the weaponization and assassination attempt
peasants
Trump endured, he certainly deserves it. The Lord has a peculiar way of rewarding those who make sacrifices. Trump and his kids deserve billions by selling U.S. policy and influence to Middle East dictators and oligarchs, says Glenn Greenwald. Like I said, a peasant mentality.
Damn!
So I'm curious how people are responding. Pedro Gonzalez says, this is actually the purpose of most conservative media now, inculcating exactly this attitude in the audience, from Fox News to The Blaze and fake news independent media that consists of podcasters and influencers from libs of TikTok to Data Republican. It's one of the only things that everyone from white nationalists and to neoconservatives on the right can agree on. Trump's unprecedented corruption is fine. Kathy Young, again, taking a shot at Greenwald, which I understand. Look who decided to stop laundering all things MAGA. Again, it's a good point. We can't ignore this corruption anymore. Fox needs to come clean and report on this, and MAGA Christians need to escape this delusion and return to true Christianity, helping the poor and needy and fleeing greed and corruption. The golden statues of Trump should have been enough.
Facts.
You have to admire his chutzpah, though. I've never seen any political leader except Trump brag about their corruption. Most of the time, corrupt political leaders hide their corruption because they fear the backlash.
Yeah, but if you put it all out there in their face, it's a tactic. It's just like what the pimp does. They sex traffic victims, right? And then they put it all in front of their face. It's a form of gaslighting, and it really leaves the victim like a deer staring into headlights. They don't respond normally. And MAGA, they totally ate up Trump. Trump told them exactly what they believed the world functioned on. He told them what they wanted to hear. That's exactly what a pimp tells their victim, the people that sex. They know them better than anyone else, and they use them to such a degree to where they know that the victim is going to have a hard time breaking away, because the victim, in their mind, they're thinking, wow, if this isn't true, right, then my whole world is shattered. So it has to be true. So to MAGA people, the ones that still support him, they're like that. Trump has to be true, because if he is not true, cognitive dissonance is going to just dissolve, and they're going to really fucking go into some serious situation. A lot of these people, man, they've never faced anything like that before, to be totally used that way. But it's going to happen. It's going to happen. One way or the other, it's over for them. And the quicker they get around to understanding that, the better off it will be for them. But listen, this is life. You need to take life serious. You need to take politics serious. You need to take your Constitution serious. And you also need to understand that you're no better than anybody else. Who told you you're promised something because of something magical that doesn't really exist on earth? Who told you that? If you want something out of life, you got to put effort towards it. It's not just promised. You know what I mean? And you can't go around thinking that you don't have to honor other people that put effort forward. No, just because they're not like you. No, you have to recognize the effort that any person puts in. All people have their shitheads, but that's why it's even more important to not be bigoted, so you can see who the people are that are genuine and put some effort forward, and who the people aren't. If you go around generalizing people, you will never get things to work. Nothing will ever work to your advantage, And so, yeah, MAGA is just, they were blinded, and people like Nick Fuentes helped that. People like what's this, Megyn Kelly, they helped it. They helped these people feel like they were owed something for nothing. Yeah, Mike, you there?
Yeah, the Candace Owens of the world, the Charlie Kirks of the world.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. They sold that idea to them, and they believed it. And it's like, man, are you crazy? Like, what's going on in your brain? Like, things don't work that way. Even if you're born and raised in the country, even if your ancestors go back to the colonial period, like mine do on both sides, I still gotta use some ingenuity, put effort into life, take some chances, and still treat people with respect. Still, you gotta go out there and make things happen for yourself. Nothing is owed. Now, I'm not saying that things are not unfair. Things are very unfair often, I know that. But when I faced unfairness, that just made me say, you know what? If all this bullshit is right here, then let me spend some time in a place where this bullshit ain't. How about that? And see how that works out. And then I realized that, wait a second, when I'm in a situation where the bullshit isn't there and I'm putting my best foot forward, I'm getting something out of it. You see what I mean? You got to move around. You can't just go straight. Sometimes you got to make a right. Sometimes you got to make a left. Sometimes you got to take a move backwards too to take some steps forward, but that's life, but nothing is promised to you, and you always need to work on that thing that you want to home in on, that craft that you have, whatever it is you're going to be, or whatever it is that satisfies you, that makes you feel like a real human being. You always have to be working on that. The moment you give up yourself and start blaming somebody else for that, man, you're not going to be good at anything that way. And then think about all the people before you. You think all the people in the generation before us, or in the ones, our ancestors, do you think they had it easy? No, nothing was easy. Nothing was straightforward. Everything always had a catch or a hitch to it, or some kind of complication or some kind of letdown to it. But turning against other people, innocent people, is not going to fix your problem. So these folks, they had a flawed mentality, and Trump, he totally took advantage of it. Totally took advantage of them. I hope they learn their lesson. I really hope that, because I don't wish anybody bad, but I really hope they learn their lesson, because maybe they can come out of it and do something, to help bring the country together. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, some of these people really, really don't know a lot about the world, don't know a lot about their own country, don't know a lot about other Americans who are real Americans, but just happen to come from a different part of the country. It's sad, man. United States, man, we got to really do better. We got to do better.
And again, going on and on and on like this, people responding. We thought that electing a billionaire who was on our side would keep the corruption out, or at least to a bare minimum. He couldn't be bought, though, right? How wrong we were. Trump needs to be impeached and removed, says others. Trump is so in your face, we can't pretend government is anything but a crime now. It's a strange relief. It's a very strange quote. Again, a lot of people are responding to this. So it's good. It's good that people are calling this out. Now, I want to turn back to Fuentes here. Now, this again is a bit long. It's a super cut of a long rant he went into. But given that this is coming from Fuentes, who is a darling on the right, he is deranged. He is an anti-Semite. He's a conspiracy theorist. But he also has a lot of purchase on the right. He's up there with Tucker Carlson and Marjorie Taylor Greene and Alex Jones. He's a big name on the right. And he's calling this corruption out, and he does it very well.
So first, you have the Trump coin scam. I don't know how he got away with that. The sitting president of the United States rug pulled his fans and supporters. Have you ever heard of such a thing? Told everybody to buy it. He said it's going to be the basis of the financial system. And then people that he told about it in advance sold all their coins to his fans, and they rug pulled it. Trump and his cronies used his voters and supporters as exit liquidity after he won the presidential election. The president of the United States scammed his supporters out of $600 million.
You know what? I think now they're saying with crypto coin with Trump now, I think they're saying it's actually $3.5 billion in crypto coins, bro. Did you hear something like that, Michael? It's not hundreds of millions anymore. It's billions.
The total rounds out near to two billion. It's like $1.8 billion.
Yeah, something like that, right? It's crazy.
So it's the meme coin, and then it's One World Financial Liberty, which is the company that produced the coins. They have 50% of that was purchased by the UAE. And that's where a lot of that money came from. A lot of the valuation, I think they purchased it for half a billion, so $500 million. And then the rest of that money came from the meme coins. And then since he owns One World Financial Liberty, which is the minter of these coins.
The second-hand scam, the left hand of the scam. Shit,
whoever sold that coin, even if they purchased it, there was transactional fees to sell that coin and purchase that coin.
So they made money too.
On that end as well. Yeah. On top of the initial meme coin money, which was Trump coin and then Melania coin. So he ate insane. All around. And he did it through legislation. So before he even did this, he started with the deregulation of crypto coins and reclassifying it in terms of an asset value. And so that made it a lot more easier to create a crypto company, and then sell that coin. And then once he did that, he started to sell these coins, right? Unregulated, right? Because before there was financial persecution, right? If these coins didn't have intrinsic value and they could prove that you were rug pulling, which means getting people to buy in only to sell at the height and leave everybody else with the loss, you were prosecuted in prior administrations, in Biden's administration. So he made that legal, right? Versus when it was illegal prior to him being in office. So he made that through legislation and executive order to deregulate that, and then participated in this scheme, which is where the majority of his wealth came from, or his gain in wealth came from while in office. Secondary to that was stock trades. So he's made more stock trades than anyone in the House and Senate ever, right? In this 1 year, in this year and 6 months, year and 7 months in office, he's made over close to 1,500 individual trades, which has brought in hundreds of millions of dollars in addition to the $1 billion, the 1.8 billion in the crypto scheme / coin that he propagated. So they're seeing the grift for what it is, and this is where this circles back to my previous point, where the people like Nick Fuentes are seeing that libertarianism on steroids, and that's where they pull back. Right? Their values stop at conservatism, right? Neoconservatism. I dislike blacks. I dislike Hispanics. Immigration, right?
Basically, he's saying that Donald Trump used him.
Yes.
They used him, basically, right? Yeah. And so he has to get over being used like a dog. He has to take him down. He's got to do whatever he can to take him down. Otherwise, he's at a deficit. He's at a loss forever.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. And you have to remember, Nick Fuentes is young. He still has a whole life ahead of him when it comes to politics and political grifting, right? So if he loses his base, he loses his value, right, in society. And he can't have that, right? Because his base has legitimately he's actually a lot older. He's 27. When he initially started, he was 20. But he can't lose his base, right? His base is the people who keep him relevant, right? His base are the young conservatives who may be facing financial stress, right? Where they're living with their parents. They may not have, they most definitely don't have a 6-figure job, right? This is lower class, lower middle America, white America that he represents, right? And they're the ones who feel disenfranchised. And now with this failing housing market and the obvious grift that Trump has presented blatantly, now he has to take a stance, right? Unlike the Megyn Kellys, who don't have to take such a strong stance, but even them, they're still taking a stance. The Candace Owens are taking a stance because now their own base is at jeopardy and has been at jeopardy, and has lost. Right? So, they've been disproportionately disenfranchised because they're the ones who bought into it.
So it is kind of like Sixth Sense was saying. It's they're losing their money. They lost their thing. Yes. And it's over for them, and now they're gonna speak out against Trump and shit. It's like, yo, you dissed more than half of the country, made up lies about half of the country. People that just want you to leave them the fuck alone, you attacked, and now the person that you supported, because he was attacking those same people, dissed you now. And now they're just out there trying to find a way to stay in the pocket somehow. Yo, you guys are fucking losers, man. Get rid of that loser attitude. Stop hating people. Like, god damn, that is so tiring. It's such a waste of fucking time. Look, they're embarrassing, bro. They're embarrassing. I know I talked about some stupid shit that happened over here in DK with this painting and the jazz festival or whatever. Yeah, that's stupid. But this is like stupid on steroids. It's like every day, a million jazz festivals with dumb pictures. This jazz festival shit ain't shit compared to what's going on in the U.S., man. You know what I'm saying? Like, god damn. It is just, my God, man. We ain't.
He treats it like a business that he's trying to bankrupt, and that's what he's done to all his businesses. So it's not new. It's not new at all, right? And I
But
think
they didn't believe
that's what
it.
Americans were.
They
No,
didn't.
they didn't.
They didn't believe he was going to bankrupt it. People told him he's going to bankrupt it, and they were like, "No,
Yeah.
no, no. He's going to get rid of the immigrants. No, no, no. He's
Yep.
going to."
And even that is
He's
for
going to
show,
make gas
right?
go down. He's going to make prices affordable again. Biden couldn't do it, and now he's going to
Yes.
do. It's like, okay.
All of what he does is a lie, right? It's meant to play on your emotions, and he's treating this current term as if it's one of his businesses that he's going to bankrupt, squeeze for all its value, and then leave there to just fail, right? And they're
He is.
seeing this. They have no choice but to see it.
Yeah,
right?
he's going to die, and there ain't nothing you could do about it. It's to punish
There you
him.
go.
And, there's nothing you could do. Trump is a slick, sly devil. I mean, because, he's going to leave the trouble to his kids.
Well, that's if he doesn't pardon them, right?
Yeah, that's if he doesn't pardon them. Yeah, he's damn sure going to try to pardon them before he steps down.
No, he will pardon
Yeah, he
them.
will. It's not even
We
try.
can only
He will.
hope that what the damage he does will be sought after on a state level, right? Even if they're not prosecuted on a federal level, on a state level, the individual states would have to prosecute his family members for a lot of these things, right? But ironically, a lot of these companies are based in what? Red states. A lot of these companies are based in red states. So do we think that these red states are going to now be so disenfranchised that they sue the face of the Republican Party? Because Trump has the Republican Party in a stronghold because he is the face value of the GOP. Fortunately and unfortunately, it is tied to him. So once he is removed from the equation, Republicans will be forced to rebrand as a whole. They already did that
it's
after
over.
Bush.
Yeah.
Now they will have to find how they rebrand, right? Because at the end of the day, no matter how much they idolize Trump, that's not going to pass on to JD Vance. No. That's not going to pass on to Marco Rubio, right? It's just not. We don't see the same zeal and the same patriotism and the same excitement for the JD Vances of the world and for the Marco Rubios of the world because they're established
Ass kissers.
politicians.
They're established ass kissers. No,
they are.
They're established politicians, but they also established ass kissers. So people just don't feel it.
They don't have an identity of their own, though,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, exactly.
You can't look at Marco Rubio and say, "Oh, I like him for his politics and the way he conducts himself," because he conducts himself like your average Republican shill. JD Vance is the same way, an emotionless neolibertarianism with no emotion, right? There's no appeal to them. At the end of the day, let's be honest. The appeal to Donald Trump, obviously he's declining, was his quick-wittedness when it comes to insulting people, his unapologetic attitude, right? His crassness, his brazenness to just do and say what he wants to, when he wants to, regardless of the consequences. Marco Rubio's not that. JD Vance is not that.
No,
right?
No.
And
but
Marco
I know
Rubio
what they are though. They're excellent ass kissers. I've never seen
Yes,
more
they are.
dedicated ass kissers, man. They still out there kissing his ass right now. Yo.
Yeah, they are. They are. They definitely
They're
are.
hardcore, bro. They're hardcore with it. It's amazing. How does a grown man make himself do that day after day, yo? They doing it. There's something.
Look,
they falling for game hard, bro. They falling for game.
To greatness, right?
Yeah,
That's the game that they're playing, right? If they play it close enough, they themselves will be famous and garner that base when it just won't happen. Marco Rubio is a child of immigrants. He is not the face of white America. He is not the base of MAGA. Right?
Exactly.
JD Vance is married to an Indian woman. He is not the face of of white America, of the MAGA base, right? He's not.
They
These
will
conservative
never
values,
accept them. They will never accept
it
them.
will
It's
split.
crazy,
Exactly.
bro.
You'll
It's
have
crazy.
a small portion that gravitates towards these individuals, but you'll have a
Oh my
large
God.
majority of the base that advocate against him, right? They're still looking. If they had someone to replace Trump and propagate him, they would have. The Republican Party would have done it already. They haven't,
He didn't want it.
right?
Trump didn't want it. Trump is such a genius. He picked people that could never replace him because he don't want to be replaced. He wants to die
No,
in
he
infamy.
doesn't. But also he knows his influence, right? He knows he's gonna die in infamy, and that if they don't capitulate to him, he's not gonna give them a successor that he backs fully. Even when you ask him who does he support, he'll never openly support Marco Rubio or JD Vance.
It's crazy.
He'll never
man.
say it. He hasn't. He hasn't.
It's some shit, man. This is some shit, boy. I swear, damn, but you know what? Michael, excellent commentary there, bro. You on it. I'm like, you got you on fire today, bro. You on fire, man. I swear, bro. You are. I'm like, you broke it down to me. That's all I gotta say because I'm not. At times I get overwhelmed and I almost don't even know why. Why is this happening? Why is Nick Fuentes saying this wild shit? Is it just me? I'm kind of getting it, but damn. But you broke it all down, man. You broke it all down. This is not happening by chance. All of this is happening for exact reasons, and it's crumbling. It's because the party's over. It's crumbling, and this is what the house looks like when it crumbles, when it starts crumbling. And there's only one person that is going to so if you don't jump off his ship, you ain't going to survive, number one, and you still might not survive. It's a long swim to the fucking to the coastline.
Yep.
It's a long swim.
Yep.
That ship, Trump ship, is way out in the middle of the ocean and shit. And he's not trying to bring anybody back.
No, he's not. He knows it's his time. He knows he's gonna go out with a bang.
Damn.
Right?
This
We
is
have
wild,
not
bro.
look how the rhetoric has changed. When Trump first got in office, and even before he got in office,
Yeah.
he was chanting Trump 2028. Where are all those chants now? They're non-existent. Right?
He
They're
really meant that
non-existent.
shit. That's crazy. He really meant it, right? He was like, fuck it. Why not? Why shouldn't I do it?
He meant it. And now this far into his now new tenure, he's realizing his failing health, his base is declining, and now he's just gonna milk America for what it's worth, what he can get out of it, right? Because he knows he doesn't have too much time, nor does the front that he's putting up now, right? When we look at job reports, right, we have more recent job reports that have those numbers have been adjusted, right, to show a decline in expected jobs, right? So slowly the finances are catching up where the rhetoric can't
Hide it.
disguise it.
Yeah, you can't
can't hide
disguise
it
it anymore. Yeah.
And
And
so
they,
who
and
knows,
they're
right?
fucking with the numbers too, but you still can't hide it. The numbers are so bad. It's just there's not enough hiding to do, And
Yes.
and also we have our government. We have a lot of different branches of government, and we have a lot of different offices that monitor things. So you can't really hide it. You can try. He's trying his best. He's trying his damnedest to hide the shit. But I think American people pretty soon are going to get some bad news. That's not. The economic data is going to be bad, I think, and
It is because it takes time for things like the big beautiful bill to take full effect. We're not we're now seeing the economic effects of the big beautiful bill. Now that we start seeing the higher net worth individuals purchase a lot more, right? When it comes to distressed assets. But in order for them to purchase at their peak, guess what has to happen? The economy has to crumble.
Yeah.
Right? That's when they go on a spending spree. That is the sale for the rich. They're like, oh, wait, there's some sort of economic downturn. Time to buy up all these distressed assets, right? And so that's where this current big beautiful bill is leading us towards.
It's so sad, bro.
Right?
It's so sad.
It is sad.
And whose
It's sad.
assets are they going to buy?
The everyday people, right? The average homes that end up finding themselves not being able to finance no more because they can't get that job or maintain that home, right? The average individual who, once we start seeing defaults on like auto loans, homes, then we'll start seeing this economy really reflect that, right? Right now, it's like if you took a sugar pill, right, for the economy with this big beautiful bill, right? They're buying up a lot of their stocks, right? They're buying up a lot of other assets to propagate the stock market, right? So they're seeing an immediate injection, but that's going to slow down very fast, right? And when the economics, the everyday economics like affordability start to catch up to the disconnected stock market, that's what we're seeing now. We're slowly seeing that. When we start seeing job increases slow down, when we start seeing inflation creep back up without people being able to bring it down in terms of spending because they no longer have that affordability leeway, right? When legislation hasn't caught up to that affordability in terms of this housing bill that he hasn't signed yet because he wants to Save America Act first, it goes to show that he prefers voting versus the economy when he won't sign the housing act before he signs the saving act because he's trying to save the Republicans. He's selling them the hope that if they pass this saving act, that it's going to save every Republican after
Goddamn
him in
pipe
terms
dream.
of elections.
He's a pipe dream. He's on a yeah. He's a madman, bro. And he's going, but it's going to hurt people. And yo, again, excellent analysis, bro. And I wish I could laugh. You notice I'm not laughing anymore because it is a grim picture, and I understand exactly what you're saying. And we've been trying to warn people about this particular thing, like who's going to pay the bill. It's the American people that's going to pay the bill, and your kids are too, and likely your grandkids. That's how bad this is going to be, and it is going to be painful for people, and it already is painful, but all the pain ain't hit yet, and it's just sad. And I really wish. I mean, you can't change the past, but I really wish people took shit serious in 2024 when people gave the warnings about Trump. I really wish it, because folks are going to live out every bit of that pain that folks were warning about. And it's unfortunately everything they said bad about Donald Trump is true. Everything. Narcissist, yes. Does he want to run for 2028? Yeah, he actually would like to do that if he could. No problem. He would easily like to cheat the system again. Is he going to rob the House? Not the House like the House of Commons. No, I'm talking about, is he going to rob the bank? Yes, they are going to rob this bank, and they're going to run the fucking economy into crises. And the American people, the only way that we're going to get out of it is by flipping the bill ourselves. So, I'm really happy that there are some socialists, though. Fuck it. I'm just going to say it, because they're going to be the only people that's going to save the day. Because what happens when you have such a big economic crisis coming, impending crisis, and one that hits, the only thing that can stabilize it is actually a social tax plan, a tax plan that stops the economy from just being very slim and skinny and tall to one that levels out and spreads out. That's what's going to balance it out. Make sure that everybody has something, in their hands. Make sure that the tax system is actually keeping people afloat, and opposed to just throwing everybody aside, and that's the difference when you have some kind of social democracy, right? Or you have some kind of projects built into your tax plan that make sure the middle class and the poor can actually continue to contribute, to make sure they don't fall to the side. That's what makes the economy strong. And what Trump and them proved is that they didn't want a strong economy. They wanted to rob the bank, and they did it. And they're going to be out when it's done. Like, they're going to leave with that money. They're not going to stay in the United States of America. They are going to leave. And it's just sad. It's just sad. I don't know what could be done about it myself. Of course, there's going to be a lot of people that's going to probably go to jail. It won't be the main people, but it will be the people that help them, the people adjacent to them. It will be everybody else, but they're already moving the money out of the country right now. Basically, this money. I mean, where do you think they keep this money? Where's this all that money they made, the $3 billion? You think they keeping it off of crypto? You think they housing it in the United States, or is it being housed somewhere else? Let me.
I absolutely don't. What really what they're doing is they're going to utilize that to buy more assets, right? Asset vehicles that allow them to evade taxes, right? That they can take loans against at 3 to 2% interest, where it's, they can hide it through an LLC,
Right.
where it's disconnected from them individually.
Yeah.
So
And then
even
they will
if
borrow
do
more
get
of our
prosecuted-
money. Right. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Boom. So they have the money somewhere else, but it's there. Then they can borrow more money off of it, which will be our money.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's sad, bro. It's really
is.
you know what? But we have to change the laws. The laws have to change. It's over because they have done so much grifting that the country won't survive if these loopholes are not closed now, man. They're bleeding it
even
to
with
death,
these-
bro. They're bleeding it,
Yes.
man. Like,
But even with these loopholes, let's say in a hypothetical scenario that a Democratic or a liberal president is elected, they would have to spend a lot more money, just as much money, just to be able to get it stable again, right? They would have to force stimulus in the forms of, additional checks or just additional tax reliefs, immediate tax reliefs
Definitely.
for the lower end, the lower middle class. You get what I'm saying?
right, to
Stimulate
get the
market.
engine moving again, to stimulate the
Yeah.
market, exactly. But it has to be
then
for the middle class and the poor.
conservative-
It has to be wide,
Yes.
because that's where it's going to
Yes.
generate mass. It's going to generate kinetic energy that way. Yeah, it's true. I hear
Maybe
you.
in the form of like increasing the child tax credit, the amount you receive now.
Yeah.
Maybe in the form of, additional programs that already exist and just increasing that funding so it immediately reaches the masses. But it's going to be hard to retract or put up a bill against the big beautiful bill. I think that's what's the larger plan. It's hard because we'll need a majority, and hopefully these midterms reflect that. But we'll need an overwhelmingly majority in the House and Senate and then an executive power in the form of a president to be able to draft up a tax plan in contrast to the big beautiful bill that cancels out the big beautiful bill. If not, we're just going to have to spend more and have larger tax cuts for the lower and lower middle class in order to get that economic stimulus that we need to jumpstart the economy again and just reflect it on the average everyday people. So this is all by design, because then it gets the Republicans and the neoconservatives and the neolibertarians to say, look, you guys were blaming Trump for spending, but now look at what you guys are doing. You guys are adding. He's added a third of our current debt within his current admin. A third. It's insane the amount of spending he's done based off these tax cuts and for the richest, right? For the richest, right? So it's sad to see that individuals think that if the billionaires and millionaires win, that somehow that's a win for your average everyday working individual, your person who receives a W-2, when the richest don't receive W-2s. They do not get paid $1 million check, right? Those assets aren't taxed the same. And, that's a loss for our economy when we're not able to, recoup that money and reinvest it into the people. And so it sucks, but the conservatives and, the neolibertarians are going to have that talking point if we ever get to a point where a liberal is in power or a Democrat's in power, because they're going to have to spend so much to even make our economy stable. And that's the sad part.
Yeah, that's the sad thing. A lot of people don't realize that's how it works. We're gonna get stuck with Trump's bill, the grifting. Then we're going to have to change. We're going to have to do these socialistic, like you said, projects to stimulate the economy, the lower part of the economy, which is the middle and the lower class, right? To strengthen it up, right? To stabilize it, And yeah, but it's all on Americans, and we're going to need Americans to be on point to understand how this works, to be able to do it, because if you don't do it, there's only going to be that much more pain economically in the country. Like, let me see. Madam says, do me a favor and and show Rubio in the size 13 Florsheim shoes. Yeah. Florsheim shoes. Yeah, I mean, these guys, yeah, I appreciate that, Madam. Yeah, it's sad. It is so sad. Usually I'm laughing, but man, you took the happiness out of me, bro, with that analysis. But it's accurate. It's on point. People were warned about this, and I hate to say that because I know it triggers some people. Like, some people hate to hear that. Like, they were warned about this, and that turns them off. But no, you were warned, and you just didn't understand the warning, and it's going to play out. Because it's too late to not play out now. You see, the House Republicans, they didn't save the country, and they had the power to stop Trump. They knew what Trump was doing, and they just kept letting him do it. And the way democracy works is, if you don't have the majority in the House and in the Senate, you can't actually, you have less power to stop the president. And that's literally how it works in the United States of America and everywhere else. It takes the representatives. And when the president goes crazy, the representatives are the only ones that can stop him. And our representatives didn't think highly enough of the American people to do that. And now the American people are going to have to pay for it. And there ain't no easy way out of it. So yeah, damn, man, I feel so bad. There's the upside, and that is Democratic Socialists. They're there fighting, and they understand what's going on. First of all, it's not just a name; is that they understand what's going to have to happen to kickstart the economy, and people need to stop fighting it. The average American, deserves better. Just think about this. What does it take to kickstart the economy again? It takes motherfucking representatives passing tax law that benefits the middle class and the poor. Not just the wealthy. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. Fund programs that get people doing shit again. Middle class and the poor. Get them inside the economy again. Yeah, all this robots and machine shit, that's gonna have to stay in the military, man. We don't need fucking robots and taking our jobs either, man. Fuck that, man. There's not enough jobs going around. Like, until the robots and the robots taking over everyday people's goddamn job has to be put on hold until we have regulations to where we can make sure it is only benefiting our country in the way it needs to, nothing else. And that means we can't sacrifice Americans anymore. We can't throw American citizens in the trash anymore. They can't just be disposable like that. We've been operating with a government that thinks that, it's okay for 20% of the population to just be starving or on the street or some shit like this. No, that's not fucking okay. That's not okay. That was never okay.
It's not patriotic.
It's not patriotic, bro. Yeah, go ahead.
It's not nationalistic, right? And on the 250th birthday of America, that's not American. That is not American, right? Trying to control mail-in ballots to a point that would disenfranchise a lot of American voters, including our elderly and their disabled. Most definitely. And then 1.3 million active service members, right? That's not patriotic.
No.
Right? That's not America. That's not what we want to, when we look at the distractions and the bells and whistles that this current administration does, they have this, American 250 fair that no one's attending, right?
Empty.
They painted
God damn.
Empty, right? They painted the pool for what? For vanity reasons, right? They have a
Vanity,
gold
yeah.
eagle. You know, they have gold trimmings on everything for what? Right? These are all, they're all vanity projects. He's treating America like it's some casino that he's trying to bankrupt. And every one of his followers and every American is forced to play in the slot machines in this casino only to know that they're losing. And there is only a few winners who are winning the jackpots, and they're his friends who he's surrounded by in his current administration. If anyone doesn't see that, I don't know what better analogy to give you, right? He's treating us like we are Trump Casino, and we are forced to spend our money pulling these slot machines, hoping to win a jackpot, knowing that it's never going to happen. And every time we see someone winning, it's one of the oligarchs that he stands by and who is in this administration, right? The Howard Lutnicks of the world, the Elon Musks of the world, the Peter Thiels of the world, right? The Joe Rogans of the world, right?
They're
the,
nasty people,
the
bro.
Dana White of the world.
They're nasty people too, man. They shame,
Yeah.
no shame. They have no shame, bro. No shame.
And
man.
I do think that this current, even the MAGA mindset is that of the gambling individual, the person who knows that the odds are against them and that they're most likely going to lose, but they continue to come back to this casino that's taking their money, right? Just because they
Bringing
hand
their
them
house
a
deed.
cup of water.
Yeah, bringing their house
Exactly.
deed to the casino. Here's
Yeah.
my house. Here's my car. Here
Oh,
the
yeah,
keys to my
yeah.
cars, buddy. It's like, what the fuck? Like, damn. Yeah, man. It's tragic,
Here's my
bro.
kid. Here's my education.
It is tragic. It is tragic. All right. So, like I said, you're depressing the fuck out of me, Mike. So I'm gonna have to tune you out for a second, man, because the news is not getting
I'm
better,
gonna-
bro.
I'm gonna leave a link. I'm gonna leave a link of the Marco Rubio shoes. So
Yeah, do that,
Madam-
please. Put that in the chat for me. We pulled that up. Yeah, we need something to laugh at because this is going down, man. I think we just depressed. Look, we only have 37 people watching now, man. You just fucked up. You depressed too many people, man. But the truth is the truth. The truth is the truth. You can't run from it. Don't run. You ain't going anywhere. You can't escape the truth. It's terrible, though. The truth is terrible, but unity can fix things. Treating each other with respect can fix things. Giving up this idea that somebody's better than somebody else, no, that's harming things. People need to unify. People need to go back to the basics. People need to be humble, and people need to care, show caring. Showing caring for people is good. Caring for each other is good. It gets people through hard, rough times, and the decent people will do that. Decent people know what I'm talking about. Let me see. You threw that in the chat. Let's see here. Okay, I'm waiting for that. Now let's look. This is I concur everything that Michael just said. His breakdown, his analysis, and more people do. More people do. More people do. But hold on. Wait a second. Before I do this, because we heard about the grifting. Let's go on. There's loads of grifting. They're ripping out. They're stealing everything. But let's go back to some more.
Yesterday we discussed
MAGA crazies. Okay, there's many MAGA crazies, and they're all losing their fucking head right now. These are the MAGA stooges, and this is what it looks like when the house starts falling.
corruption of Trump.
I
As
threw the
we
link in the
circle
chat
back
for
to a
you
lot, but
guys.
we saw the
Oh, you put it in the chat. Okay. Let me pull this up real quick. Boom. See, here we go. Yeah, there we go. Clogs. What the hell? Where he get these damn shoes from? Hold on. Let me see if I can make this a little bigger. Actually, interesting choice. Can I do it here? Yeah, I think I can. Here we go. Let's get this. Oh wow, why did I do that? Sorry. Let me get these up on the screen. Should I do it this way? Yeah, I gotta do it this way. Here we go. Marco Rubio. Wow. This is remarkable. and why did I have to say that? His name's Marco. But these are his goddamn shoes. Look at this. Look at this. Do they even fit? What's wrong with this, man? Yeah. I don't know.
That's the joke. So Trump gifted everyone in his admin this brand of shoes.
His
and
ankle shoes.
He gave Marco Rubio a size 13 instead of a size 11 and a half, which is what he wears.
He's got enough room for an ankle monitor. Yeah, he can fit an ankle monitor in that one for sure. Yeah, this is yeah, man. I don't know what I think I depressed myself just listening to you though, Mike. I gotta tell you. But it is people need to know and what to expect, and they need to understand how we're gonna get out of this situation. Since people want it, they were just so stubborn. They had to vote for Jeffrey Epstein's best friend. They just had to. They couldn't fucking listen. So, look, your best choice is the Democratic Socialists. Like, in this economic downturn, that is literally, it's your only real fucking option. It doesn't even matter what you call it anymore. You can call it what you want. But things ain't going to get better without those kind of policies, right, that they're asking for. And people better get real about it and realize that's good. That's the chance you have. That's the opportunity you have. And be happy that you have any opportunities at this point, because Trump damn sure don't give a fuck about the United States of America or any people other than his kids and the people that do shit for him. Like, you folks that thought Trump was thinking about you, you guys need to go to a goddamn shrink. Like, why you would? There is a relationship with abuse that you have. You have if you voted for Trump, you have a relationship with abusive people. You have some kind of connection to that, and you need to ask yourself why you would do that. And but repent and turn immediately over to the Democratic Socialists, because I'm gonna tell you, those are the only policies that are going to dig the United States out of this economic turmoil that it is definitely heading at. You haven't felt the effects, though. Effects haven't kicked in 100%, but they're about to. They are about to. And it will motivate people to vote. But again, it's better to think, understand economics, understand how the economy works, understand how economies work in the Western world, understand how you can get yourself out of this economically, and understand it's not going to be through the policies that the Republicans and the mainstream Democrats had already. Those days were over. It's way more problem. The problem is way deeper now. So you're going to need policies that actually bolster up the middle class and the poor for real. Like, otherwise your economy ain't going to survive. Like, some people think that the economy is going to survive if they just cut more middle class and poor people out of the economy. Wrong. You got it backwards, Joe. You got it backwards. You need them in the economy to make it turn, to make it do something, to make it generate more force, more mass. You need everybody involved in it. That's how economics works.
Big disclosures around how much money Trump, over $1.4 billion Trump has made from his crypto corruption. And this is a scale of cashing in on the presidency that we literally have never seen in the whole history of this country, ever. It makes Nixon look like the most moral, uncorrupt figure you've ever seen in your life. It makes any other people who've been accused of profiting of the presidency look like Boy Scouts. And it's so bad that Alex Jones, you'll see, he's just struggling. And here's why. It's not that he can't criticize Trump these days. He is criticizing Trump over the Iran war. But it's that he has to contend with the fact that this has been a long coming process. And that's what's weird about this, is he's going, all right, I got to talk about this. Trump's corrupt. I just have to say it now. But then he tries to wiggle his way out of admitting that that's been the case a long time. And act like I just saw a New York Times story and this just happened. Oh my gosh. Because remember, for a lot of Trump's presidency, Alex Jones didn't say a peep about Trump cashing in, and he was doing it already from the beginning. He launched his meme coin the day, I think it was the day before his inauguration. Alex Jones didn't say anything. He said this is going to be amazing, and then now that the Iran war happened, now he's opening up to some of these criticism. Let's see.
Look, I got to cover this. I've already hit it some, just because I've got to be fair. Even the New York Post that's pro-Trump was like, it's disgusting when Hunter Biden was put on the boards of companies to make tens of millions of dollars.
Him and Kennedy have a similar voice, that kind of grungy.
Just so his dad would give government contracts to those companies. That's what Trump's done a bunch of. And he didn't do it in the first term. I've had analysts on, even his enemies on. They admit it. Trump was very clean first term. He lost almost everything. I get it, fighting the deep state. He went from being worth about $8 billion to being worth about $1 billion, it was estimated. Now he's gotten his wealth back up to almost $7 billion. So I can see like, oh, we went through all this hell, so we're going to have the Justice Department do special dispensations saying it's legal when we do this, it's legal when we do that. And Trump says, I'll just pardon the whole administration. It's wrong. So I've got a stack of that stuff here. And it's bad, folks. It is just cut and dry. And I like Don Jr. I like Eric. I've wanted them to succeed.
Why does every MAGA pundit caveat with that? Did you see this? Fox host, Megyn Kelly.
Exactly.
Him. They all.
Why do they keep saying that? They like you like the people that's fucking up everything and benefiting from
And by the way, I just want to be clear.
What the hell is up with that? Like, why do y'all think they keep saying that? Like, I like them. Is it just because they have a lot of money and they just stole a lot of money and they don't want to be on the outs? That's what it sounds like to me. They can't figure out. It's like vacillating. They can't figure out if they're angry at them for robbing and stealing and actually being evil while they called somebody else the problem, or if they want to actually hang out with them if they get away with it and walk off into the sunset with some of that money and be able to work with them in the future. Like, they haven't quite figured out what the future looks like, I think.
I love Don Jr. and Eric. They're really good guys, but like they also might be doing the greatest corrupt scheme in the history of the country. But they're good guys. They're really good guys, and I've gone hunting with them. What's so good about them? Eric, I'm gonna say it. I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it. If you appreciate the show,
keeping. You said who? Let me see. It's about keeping supporters. Yeah, I can imagine. Oh, you mean his supporters? Yeah, because his base is all wrapped up in Trump. Okay, yeah.
He kind of pull. Could you edit this together while I watch this clip? He looks like an ostrich. Okay, he looks like. Just you'll see it once you see it. Okay, but split to this and then you can work on that.
But I mean, when you read this stuff, like the day after they get signed up with the company, Trump gives them multi-billion-dollar contracts to mining companies in Kazakhstan and stuff. It's just it's mind.
So
he sounds jealous. They all sound jealous. Like Trump dissed them. That's all I can make out of this. Like Trump dissed these people, and they're on the outs with him. They said bad things. Trump maybe didn't address them directly, but he's not fucking with them anymore. And you know, this is their way of kind of begging and trying to. I think they're just disillusioned at this point. But this is where it's at. Like this is what being on the losing team looks like. Trump won the election, but they're on the losing team because they're not in the inside. They're not Don Jr. They're not really part of the setup. They got used masterfully. They got used, and they were up to getting used. Because you can't get used like this if you're not okay with some of it. You know what I mean? They went along with Trump for a long fucking time. It's just crazy, man.
I heard about the mining project corruption in Kazakhstan. I haven't yet heard of what the corruption was in Kazakhstan.
Yeah, Kazakhstan. What the fuck?
Let's see.
To mining companies in Kazakhstan and stuff. It's just
man, Kazakhstan, man. It is a grim place, Kazakhstan.
It's mind blowing, and it's just one more thing that completely freaks me out. Doesn't mean I'm going to support the Democrats. Doesn't mean I'm going to not support other good Republican candidates. I'm just going to say, okay, this is good what Trump's doing. This is bad.
What does that mean? Let me hear that again.
mind-blowing. And it's just one more thing that completely freaks me out. Doesn't mean I'm going to support the Democrats. Doesn't mean I'm going to not support other good Republican candidates. I'm just going to say, okay, this is good what Trump's doing. This is bad. Boy, I sure don't support this.
He is what's wrong with this guy? He's projecting like it doesn't mean I'm going to support the Democrats, and it doesn't mean I'm not going to support the good Republicans. I'm not too convinced by that.
And it's just one more thing that completely freaks me out. Doesn't mean I'm going to support the Democrats. Doesn't mean I'm going to.
It sounds like people are talking about him, and he's trying to fix that, by telling people, I'm not going to do that. Yeah, who the fuck said you was supporting some Democrats? Why is he saying this?
And it's just one more thing that completely freaks me out. Doesn't mean I'm going to support the Democrats. Doesn't mean I'm going to not support other good Republican candidates. I'm just.
Well, what if it actually means you are actually going to support some Democrats now? Like, why would he just offer that up? Just publicly. Doesn't mean I'm going to support some Democrats, y'all. If you weren't going to support some Democrats, then why are you saying that publicly that you're not? Like, that doesn't sound like everyone believes you, bro.
Just going to say, okay, this is good what Trump's doing. This is bad. Boy, I sure don't support this. And you've got all these hardcore Trump supporters. I say about a third of our audience is pissed off at me continually. That's okay. It's happened before. I'm going to do what's right regardless. But respectfully,
it sounds like he's talking to a mob boss or some shit. I'm going to do what's right regardless, man. They hate me. I know you hate me, boss. I'm going to do what's right. I'm telling you. You don't have to worry about me. Good old Rush Limbaugh.
I would tell people.
I mean, Alex Jones, whatever. They all look alike. No, I'm joking. Good old Alex Jones. This is the guy that literally said that, he blamed the Columbine kids, basically, for what happened. Essentially, he acted like that wasn't a tragedy. I mean, this guy's despicable, man. And now look at him begging. Now look at him. He's been brought down to his knees. This is what it looks like.
Hardcore Trump supporters, I say about a third of our audience is pissed off at me continually. That's okay. It's happened before. I'm going to do what's right regardless. But respectfully, I would tell people, did I say during Midnight Hammer the plan was to take it to full war? Did I say Israel was going to end up striking Iran first?
So just a little follow-up.
Interesting. So it sounds to me, because if he's thinking about Israel, it sounds to me like there's only one group of people he can vote for. He said he wasn't going to vote for Democrats. He said it doesn't mean he's not going to vote for good Republicans. Is there only one? But now that I think about it, there's a party, the Democratic Socialists. None of them support AIPAC or Netanyahu at all. Is he going to vote for one of them? I'm curious.
On the more important discussion here, this is Don Jr., if you're not familiar, and then this is Don Jr. It's not at all what I was picturing. Well, a little bit. You see a little bit. Okay.
Hey, during Midnight Hammer, the plan was to take it to full war.
Check, true.
Did I say Israel was going to end up striking Iran first and dragging us in, which they did on February 28th, and we went in March 1st? Did I say that the mullahs wouldn't fall and they closed the strait and it would destroy the recovery and create massive inflation? Was I right?
This dude is just too weird, man. Alex Jones, he's too much. All right, let's go on, man. That was Luke Beasley. I want to rock with one more, and then we'll be out of here because we still have the morning stream, the regular time, the regular scheduled stream. So, but it was good to chime in and say happy 4th of July. And yeah, it's your country. Don't forget, no one else can define that for you. But if you're me, a person that thinks like me, my ancestors fought in that war. So, a lot of people did fight in that war. So, you don't have to let Trump fuck it up for you. Do it in your own way. You don't need to party and do it with these maggots. You don't need to, do anything phony or superficial. It can just be a day where you remember, damn, this is your country and somebody's got to save it now for real. in real life. You know, it's a real moment right now in American history. So come together, people, and if there was things that you did before that you didn't think were maybe the best, then do them better this time around. You know, nobody's perfect. I've gone through a lot growing up in the U.S. and I've changed a lot as a you know, from a young man to a man. You know what I mean? I've learned a lot of things, so I've changed a little bit. I'm still the same person I am, but I mean, I've gotten a more understanding about life and things, right? That life, you grow the entire time you're growing, and it's about your exposure to people and learning things, right? So you change. That's part of life. Nothing's finite, you know. And but now is always the opportunity to look in the mirror and figure out what is it that we can do better and should be doing better as Americans, and then embrace that to be able to move forward stronger. You know, people, we're gonna get through this moment, but I think it should be a solemn reflecting moment today. You know, July 4th should be a day that people reflect on the standing of the country and what needs to be done to solve these problems that we have right now and make sure they don't happen again. You know, because it's unnecessary. It's unnecessary. You know. But
so
let me just see this last bit here. This is Chris Norland, and get out of here.
Talking about the job market and also too what's going on this holiday weekend and what people are saying. So let me show you guys. This is the headline: Extreme heat wave threatens U.S. power grids and July 4th travel. Basically, it's really, really hot out there, and if you stay indoors, turn on the AC, electricity prices are high. So I think you guys already know this. And if you try to go visit your family, also prices are high all across the board. And this is what regular people are dealing with. We talked about in the last video. This would be the most expensive July 4th ever. And that was just the food and entertainment things, let alone now we're talking about the electricity costs and travel costs and the heat. While this is sort of basically costs are going up, we're finding out the job market is awful, maybe the worst in 50 years. Job seekers giving up, labor force participation rate falls to lowest in 50 years. And we talked about this, it's not a good sign. And I was curious, and I'm always curious on this stuff, like, who the heck still follows Trump? What are they saying? You got to hear the stuff for yourself.
What I imagine, I'd be watching videos like that. Candidates running for the modern day Democrat Party. This is not your granddaddy's Democrat Party. This is not the Democrat Party of JFK. This is a full-blown communist revolution that is taking over Capitol Hill right here in Washington, D.C., just a few steps away from where we are sitting right now. The inmates are running the asylum. These are crazy people who are advocating against what I call the 3 Ps. Prison, police, and private property. They don't want any of those things, and those are the ideals that founded this great country 250 years ago. But as President Trump says, communism is easy to sell. You just promise people free stuff. Until a few years, you're living in squalor with no free home, no free food. You're just sitting there with a whole bunch of communists looking around and saying, what the heck happened?
Okay, so I know for me, this is like watching the Comedy Channel because these people are just so ridiculously whacked out. And you can also see that it's completely scripted, right? She has certain things she needs to say. I have to promote prisons, police, and private property, right? And this is their messaging. I'm just showing you their words. And the reason why I wanted you to see this is because think of it this way. If you're the wealthy landowner on the plantation, and that's the world that they want to go back to, you're worried about the workers, the slaves, basically uprising. So you make sure that you got your police, your prisons, right? And you keep your private property. So this is literally what they are advocating for, going back to plantation days. This is what the country was founded on. And I was just like, these people are insane. And
facts.
If you want
to 100% facts.
You know, create a system that is more fair, and you want to create a system, hey, let's care about the landowner on the plantation.
Let's hear that one more again. Let's hear it.
And this is their messaging. I'm just showing you their words. And the reason why I wanted to see this is because think of it this way. If you're the wealthy landowner on the plantation, and that's the world that they want to go back to, you're worried about the workers, the slaves, basically uprising. So you make sure that you got your police, your prisons, right? And you keep your private property. So this is literally what they are advocating.
Pretty convenient, huh?
or going back to plantation days. This is what the country was founded on. And I was just like, these people are insane. And if you want to, create a system that is more fair, and you want to create a system, hey, let's care about regular people, let's care about jobs, they're just like, oh, you're just a bunch of commies. That's their argument. It's so whacked out. And I want to show you guys this stuff because look where we are right now in history, okay? This just came out. We've been talking this the last couple of days. Trump pulled in at least $2 billion after returning to the White House. This is unprecedented, this kind of stuff. It's insane. And then also now we're talking about, I guess we're going to nationalize some industries, right? OpenAI proposes 5% stake to the Trump administration to ease Washington pressure. And talking about this the last couple of videos. Isn't this whacked out? And then I guess if you want to talk about change, they're just like, oh, we need more police and more prisons because you're trying to go after our private properties. I don't know what to say other than I'm showing you what it is, right? Trump also expects Musk will donate SpaceX stock to Trump accounts. So I guess we all want to take ownership of that. I guess as Trump want the government to control the means of production, both SpaceX, OpenAI, and others. And then this is also the Trump thing. And I'm just going through the news today because I want to show you everything. Donors were misled by Trump-backed Freedom 250, House Democrats allege. So basically what it was, I guess some people donated to the America 250, right? Which essentially a bipartisan is a really better way to say it is nonpartisan. Just, hey, I want to have a celebration for all Americans. And then Trump's like figuring out ways to funnel money to his Freedom 250 stuff, which would be separate, right? Be it the UFC fight or otherwise. And also to try to benefit himself. And let me give you an example of like the crazy crap that from the Trump's point of view, he thinks is helping Americans. So this was just announced. I didn't know we were doing this. I just seen it right now. Babies born this year to receive, quote, Freedom 250 Social Security cards, Trump administration says. So not only, I guess, if you want to get a passport now, you can get the Trump passport with Trump's face on it. Now, thank God it's not going to be Trump's face on your Social Security card. I know for reals, because it's like, in this day and age, as dumb as it sounds, hey, if you told him, Trump, do you want your name and face on Social Security? I'm sure he would do it.
One thing to keep our eye on, of course, wages. What's been happening with wage growth for everyday Americans? Ticking up slightly to 3.5% on an annual basis. But when you compare that to the red line there, inflation, which is now topping 4%, it doesn't feel as good. An increase in wages, of course, is good, but when inflation is outpacing wage growth by that much, it feels uncomfortable.
It erases the gains. You're going in the wrong direction.
Yeah, it feels uncomfortable.
You can see it right there in the numbers. Basically, costs are outpacing your income, right? Sure, you might have gotten a raise this year, but it doesn't nearly cover how much inflation is. And again, we're looking at the most expensive 4th of July in history.
Kids because they're in their 20s and they've never had real jobs and they're complaining things are expensive. Yes, things are expensive when you don't have a real job.
That's right.
Do you think that's getting traction, complaining?
Unfortunately, I do, because this generation, my generation, I hate to say it, Gen Z and those younger than me have been raised with just silver spoons in their mouth, just getting everything handed to them. That's not.
This messaging is not going to work. This messaging from the Republicans, this is not going to work. People are not stupid. Who the hell do these people? Who is she talking about? Born with a silver spoon in their mouth? Like Trump was born with a silver spoon in his fucking mouth. What are they talking about? Elon Musk was born with a silver fucking spoon in his mouth. Goddamn Howard Lutnick, silver spoon, born with one. Who else? Like these people, Jeff Bessett, was he not born? Scott Bessett, was he not born with a silver spoon in his mouth? Well, he just earned all that billions of dollars. He was born a guy, poor dude, middle class dude who just didn't work, who just worked really hard. This is ridiculous. Them saying it again. That's what I was saying. This is like pure gaslighting, like out front, projecting, calling people what they actually are. The things they're calling the public is suffering, and they're literally telling you, you feel this way because you were born with a silver spoon in your mouth. This is what they have to tell people. Like, they should be very afraid of the rage of American people. Like, seriously, they should be very afraid of the uprising. When they talk this way, listen to what they say. And she got no problem saying it. This is crazy.
Do you think that's getting traction?
And it's not just her, it's also this goddamn asshole too. But still, let's hear it. Listen.
Complaining.
Unfortunately, I do, because this generation, my generation, I hate to say it, Gen Z and those younger than me have been raised with just silver spoons in their mouth, just getting everything handed to them. That's not the values this country was built on. It was built on meritocracy and hard work, pulling up your sleeves, pulling yourself up from your bootstraps, and achieving the American dream. And we need to protect it with all we got.
Is it laziness?
A little bit.
Is it because the professor said country's corrupt, it's evil, and we just need to shake them down and hand money out?
It's laziness, and it's the liberal indoctrination. You bring up a great point about our education system. However, I will say a silver lining.
So what about the red people that are suffering, feeling inflation, ain't getting a fair shot? What about them? Is it because that's the liberal indoctrination getting at their ass? So in other words, they're doing quite fine. All right, y'all. Anyway, this is the best they got. Mike, you want to say something before we out of here? This is the best they got, bro. This is insane.
I mean, this is the messaging they put, right? Caroline Leavitt just got back from, her maternity leave, and now they have her, being the voice box of this administration again, spewing the rhetoric that they do, but they consistently forget that red states are welfare states. So is it because red states are lazy? Is it because they don't want to work 2 or 3 jobs?
Yeah.
Is it because they want to continue to be on benefits?
Yeah.
Like, which one is it, right? Because the majority of blue states, not all, majority of blue states are donor states, which means we give more in federal taxes than we receive.
Exactly.
Right? Almost the majority of red states are welfare states. They depend on our tax dollars to survive. The only reason why they have open schools is because of blue states. The only reason why they have any type of infrastructure when it comes to road work is because of our blue states.
Federal
right?
dollars coming from blue states.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Supplementing these red states. So they can continue that rhetoric, right? Because it doesn't show, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, the question is going to be, again, just like what's his name? Abdul, was it just like this brother right here? Let's see
Abdul
here.
Saeed.
Yeah,
He come up to me and said, I don't like you much. I'm sorry. He said, but I'm going to vote for you. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I'm going to vote for you. I was like, why? He's like, because I think you really want me to have health care. I was like, I do. I really want you to have health care. He's like, that's why I'm going to vote for you. I was like, so why don't you like me? He's like, well, because you're Muslim. I was like, oh, okay. All right, good. Turns out I don't need you to like me. I need you to like you. I had a guy come up to me and said,
right. We're going to find out if the red state people really believe Caroline Leavitt, believe what she said, that they were born with a silver spoon in their mouth and that they're falling for liberal indoctrination. That's why they have higher unemployment. That's why they have all these issues. That's why they're states, they're welfare states that depend on blue states giving them federal dollars. Well, let's find out if it's true what Caroline Leavitt is saying about them. I mean, I can't even believe that they are this callous with it, bro. But again, gaslighting works that way. People when someone tells you the magic words you've been yearning to hear, you're special, it's hard to break away from that. But that's exactly what a pimp tells somebody he's about to sex traffic, that you are special. I'm only doing this because I care about you. It might hurt a little while, but I love you. I'm only doing it because I love you. Like seriously, it's sad. But in any case, happy 4th of July, folks. Mike, thanks again for hopping up. You got to keep it short because we have the next one coming. So that's 8 hours from now, 9 hours from now, the next one, something like that. 9, close to 10 hours, just before 10 hours from now. But everybody, stay strong. Stockholm Syndrome. Exactly, 6 cents. Exactly. Jazzy Music. I see you. Yeah, and madam, appreciate you also. Thanks a lot for the 5 spot. Got you. I know what I'm going to do with that. I'm going to go and actually, I don't know. I'm going to let it sit there for a while. But in any case, but I appreciate everybody for coming out and listening. Look, this stream, I actually got sad listening to the gloomy news. But that's just because I'm human. Sometimes that's just how it is. But it will wear off once I have time to digest it. But I want everybody to digest it. Digest this, because this shit is real. There's going to be more serious economic problems coming. And it is because of what Trump has been allowed to do and what Congress and the Senate have allowed Trump to do. Americans are going to experience a harder time than they have experienced under COVID. You see, like, worse economic data is coming. People are going, instead of someone bailing you out and helping you with a relief package, that ain't really happening. So, and even this little thing about the housing bill, even if that passed, that was like a situation where Trump stuck a knife in your back 10 inches and they pulled it out 3 inches. That's too little, too late, pretty much. That's just having some people be able to barely hang on, while others are going to definitely lose their homes, fall off. There's going to be a lot of issues. The job reports market is bad. It is bad news. Don't be fooled. The economic data is being manipulated right now under Trump. So even if the economic data is not great, it's worse than what it looks like, sadly enough. So, yeah, but enjoy your day. You don't know what tomorrow brings. So live this day like it matters also. Hug your loved ones. Be positive to your community members. And be there for each other until we find out what can happen. And big up to the Democratic Socialists also for taking things serious and for being honest with people. Even though everyone's not going to listen, everyone's not going to believe you because of who you are, because of what you look like or what you sound like. At least you are telling people the truth, and America needs somebody telling people just the fucking truth. Okay. You are the closest shot we get to being like other Western countries, with universal health care, with some normalcy in people's lives, some housing rights, rights to education, higher education. You're the closest thing we got right now, because nobody else pretty much even believes that Americans are good enough to have those things. Instead, it's every other Western country, every other Western government believes that their citizens are deserving of those basic rights. So, so on that note, I'll catch up with everybody in a few. It's about 9.5 hours from now. Until then, have a good rest of your day. Have a good dinner with your families and everything. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate you, Mike. Yeah.
Thank you, B. Always.
Yeah. Peace to you, bro. Have a good 4th of July, man. Enjoy the weather. All right, y'all. Release the Epstein files. Fuck Trump, man. When is he going to die? And JD Vance. When are they finished, man? Marco Rubio, get the hell out of here, man. Shame on you, man. All right, peace, y'all.
We got what you need, you want it. We know what you want, we got it. We know what you feel, you want it. We got what you want, you can have it. We got what you need, you want it. We know what you want, we got it. We know what you feel, you want it. We got what you want, you can have it. Orientation in this place we call Earth. Love from conception, from your mom, your birth. Pops planted the seed in the turf. From there, you must find out what life is worth. Grew up learning your do's and don'ts before working on your motor skills, working on your coordination, right? And orientation to what you like. The brand new thing, so gentle the soul we're capturing. In this distance, the alphabets the kids sing. They celebrate when it's time to go outside. As you get older, you learn to let all the troubles in your life just glide away. Stay focused, keep it smooth, keep you cool. Things in life can make it get rude. If you let it, don't let it. 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 If you let it, let it, let it, let it. If you let it, don't let it, let it. If you let it, don't let it. If you let it, don't let it, let it. Don't let it. We got what you need, you want it. We know what you want, we got it. We know what you feel, you want it. We got what you want, you can have it. We got what you need, you want it. We know what you want, we got it. know what you feel, you want it. We got what you want, you can have it. We embark on this journey through your soul. We wanna have a good time. We embark on this journey through your soul. We wanna have a good time. We do something that you know you can't deny. We're just slipping in and out on a journey, you and I, on a mission to salvation. Our spirit be our transportation. We think you'll do a little loving that is true. For real, we bring something that you know you can't deny. We're just slipping in and out on a journey, you and I. Bring it. We got what you need, you want it. We know what you want, we got it. We know what you feel, you want it. We got what you want, you can have it. We got what you need, you want it. We know what you want, we got it. We know what you feel, you want it. We got what you want. From our harshest past, and better than our society's identity. But then again, can you tell me that's free? They explain to you what your mind should perceive, suggest things they want you to believe, like your skin color dictates your race. They're calling you an idiot to your face, like life is much more simple than that. We're all slaves and the cards are stacked, while we fight over problems we can fix. Industrialists turn our kids to addicts. The television does a job, introduce you. The radio's right there to seduce you, keep you locked on the wrong damn track. Cigarettes is just legalized crack. They want you to catch a damn heart attack. They want you to catch a damn heart attack. What? Stop believing in the flag, it's a trap. Cause men rule this world, that's a fact. They don't know, but I'm gonna make it right tonight. They don't lie, but I'm gonna say it like I know. They don't know, that I'm gonna hit them with the shit. They don't lie, that you're gonna free your mind tonight. 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 If you see a man that needs help, then help a brother. If you see a sister on her own, still love her. Cause life is about how you choose to see it. But you gotta teach people how to learn to see it. The planet's been through suffering many times. We propagate many wars many times. The people need to wake up and stop accepting deceit from their own government's deception. You can't blame the people for needing protection from the government's bad reputation. We need to sing a song called Free the Nation. Cause we done had a whole lot of separation. Racism, classism, nationalism, based on keeping people out on the plantation. That's the plan, no doubt. Cause rich people got a plan, no doubt. If you still don't understand and believe that we are all one from the same mother, and respect each woman and man with the same consideration you would like to be given on a daily, then you need to retire so the new generation can take over and show you how to live and govern this place we call Earth home. Everybody here, yeah. They don't know, kid. They don't know. They don't lie, they don't lie. But I'm gonna say it like I know. They don't know, they don't know. That I'm gonna hit them with this shit. They don't lie, they don't lie. That I'm gonna feel mine tonight. They don't know, they don't know. That I'm gonna make it right tonight. They don't lie, they don't lie. But I'm gonna say it like I know. They don't know, they don't know. That I'm gonna hit them with some shit. They don't lie, they don't lie. That I'm gonna feel mine tonight.
Every day the children dying. What about the children crying? No.
What about the kids?
Don't forget the children.
Tell them about the children.
What about the children crying? No.
Yeah. Digging, scratching, working, struggling, hoping. Some is hustling, every man hustling. Stay alive, that's the game. It don't matter if another gets slain. Pain, recession, other cats want a war. We got the weapon. People want bombs, so they gon' get them. This is the rhythm, the politics ticking. It's sad how we living in this life. It's gonna be a time that we change. Shit is not finite, life is the same. Motherfuckers killing each other to make a claim. Stop that bullshit. You have no respect for each other. You know the truth you come from your mother, your sister, your brother. So love one another. If we make that change, the whole world will do the same. So listen.
Only this one love. Every day the children dying. What about the children crying? No.
What about the kids?
Don't forget the children.
Tell them about the children.
What about the children crying?
I wish someone would tell me when is the suffering gonna stop. I see time ticking, fuck your watch. There comes a time when man steps to the plate, but it won't matter if your mentality is fake. Where I'm from, we got a system, overcrowded prisons, 2 cents an hour, man. Listen, shit don't change if we keep exploiting each other. One day you find out you only did it to your brother. A homeless mother, a baby, no supper. She got a husband and father, they both love her, but they can't find work cause the people with the power, they got a strange way to govern. Their price tags say nothing. Life is funny, then again it's really not. People dying for what other people got. I asked God if he can come and change the shit. He said, hell no, it's you that's gotta change this.
Every day the children dying. What about the children crying? One. One love. all is